Hey, Forever family. I am a grateful follower of Jesus Christ. I struggle with the painful hurt of divorce, food issues, pride, and all kinds of hurts, habits, and hangups. And my name is Eric. Have you ever heard of the phrase burning bridges? If you have, you're probably thinking right now about that one thing that you could do that you could never take back or repair the damage from. Most of the time, whenever we use that term, burning bridges, we're warning someone about doing irreparable damage to a relationship or a situation. But that's not the origin of the phrase. The origin goes back hundreds of years, back to the Roman Empire. And when they would go to conquer a land, many times they would have to cross a large body of water, a river or a ocean. And if they were crossing a river, they would have to go across some large bridge, or if it was an ocean, they'd have to use boats to get there. And the Roman commander, once they got to the other side, to the territory that they were going to conquer, he would order the soldiers to burn the bridge that they had just crossed, or burn the boats that they had just crossed the ocean in. This would eliminate any kind of possibility of retreat from the enemy. And the soldiers would fight with even more intensity because they had no mode of escape from their enemy. And I started thinking about that phrase, burning bridges, and how that relates to me and my recovery. I came here almost 10 years ago, and whenever I entered this program at Celebrate Recovery, I was hurting from the painful hurt of my divorce. I had addiction, I had pride, I had all kinds of hurts, habits, and hangups that I needed freedom from. So I started attending Friday night worship, and I started attending open share groups, and I joined a step study group. And I learned and worked the 12 steps and the 8 principles. And I learned the phrase that it works if you work it and it won't if you don't. And I crossed over that bridge to freedom. Throughout the years, I've seen many people that have crossed that bridge over to the land of freedom. But then I watched them as some of them crossed back over to the land of slavery and to the land of relapse. So I started thinking, how can I burn that bridge so that I don't return to that land of slavery? 2 Peter 2:22 says, a dog returns to his vomit and a washed pig returns to the mud. If freedom is so awesome, then why do people travel back across the bridge to relapse and slavery? Well, the truth is that freedom is hard to achieve, isn't it? It's also difficult to maintain. And then there's pleasure to be had over there in that land, isn't there? And it's also an escape from reality, from my hurts, habits, and hangups. However, I remember living over in that land. I remember being enslaved to my addiction. I remember the guilt, the shame, the resentment, the anger, and the depression that I experienced. And I don't ever want to go back there. So how do I do it? How do I burn that bridge so that I don't ever go back into slavery? Well, the bad news is that I can't ever really burn that bridge because it's not a physical bridge. It's not something that I can physically burn. So the temptations are still there, and sometimes I still hear the pulling to come back across that bridge like a Pied Piper's pipe. I can hear it wooing me and drawing me back. But I remember how things were, and Celebrate Recovery has given me some incredible tools to prevent myself from going back across that bridge. I want to share some of those with you. So I go to Friday nights. I go to worship and to praise God. I go to the open share groups. I have done 5 step study groups, and I'm going to host another virtual step study group coming up soon. I want you to know that these are things that I need to keep me sane and to keep me in the land of recovery, of freedom. If I stop doing the very things that gave me freedom, then my recovery is in jeopardy. Look, Hebrews 10:25 says, let us not neglect meeting together and let us encourage one another. It also says in 2 Corinthians 1:4, the comfort that God gives us, we need to give that comfort to others. We need to serve and do that. Philippians 4:9 says, keep putting into practice all that I have learned. Keep putting into practice all that I've learned. I don't know where you are today. I don't know what's going on in your life. But if you have started to slide because of this pandemic and because you haven't been able to physically go to meetings, let me encourage you to re-engage. We have worship service every Friday night. It's just the mode that we're attending is differently. We have a live Facebook worship service that happens every Friday night at 6 o'clock. We have women's open share groups via Zoom at 7 o'clock and men's open share groups at 8 o'clock. I host one of those open share groups. It is a lifeline to me. Let me encourage you to re-engage in those meetings and in that worship if at all possible. We're going to be starting the online step study group soon, and we need leaders. We need you. So re-engage. I hope this video finds you in a really good place, but if not, reach out. Go to an open share group. Reach out to your sponsor, to your accountability teams, to people who can help you. I love you, I miss you, and I hope I see you soon. May God bless you and keep you.